we actually do one more?
Yeah.
There you go. Gotta throw them up. I don't take a picture without them up.
Okay, move it down so it's not in front of your face. There we go. Awesome. Great.
James, Sandy said she met with you earlier today. What was your initial impression? What did you guys talk about? And your initial thoughts?
Well, I was in Philadelphia last night at my high school doing a speaking engagement and found out that this was going to happen, so got back into State College about 2:30 this morning. My problem is my internal clock goes off anyway, so I was still up early and then was able to go over to the president's house and get a chance to sit down and welcome her to the community. And just obviously a real brief conversation. We got a lot of work to do in a short period of time of building that relationship and rapport. But it's a start, and I'm excited.
Did you play any role at all in, I know they had a selection committee, was anything bounced off you as they were going through this, or was this something where they had their people who were handling it and they kind of did it?
No, the search committee handled it all. We're obviously, as all of us as coaches, we're here as a resource if needed. There was some coaches represented on the search committee as well. But no, tremendous faith and excitement for moving forward at this point. I'm just happy that now all the pieces of the puzzle are in place, and we can continue moving forward and healing and growing.
Dr. Barron is available up front.
There's already been some talk about the graduation rates of the football and basketball players at Cal under Sandy. I guess in your experience, how much of that is, how much of a hand does an athletic director have in that, and how much of that kind of boils down to the individual sports and coaches and that sort of thing?
Well, I think the most important thing is there is a history and there's a culture and there is a tradition at Penn State of tremendous academic achievement, and that will continue. I know it's important to our president. I know it's important, obviously, to our athletic director and all of our coaches. So that will continue.
So the history at Cal isn't concerning to you at all?
My focus is on Penn State. I know what's important to our administration, our athletic director, our president, our university as a whole. And like I already mentioned, we have a tremendous history and culture and tradition at Penn State of academic excellence, and that will continue.
Coach, now you've been here for more than half a year. What advice can you give Sandy about sort of integrating herself into the community?
Well, I'm probably the last person to ask about integrating into the community because I know 3 restaurants in the airport. That's about it. But I hope to be a resource moving forward. I have been here for 7 months, so I have some perspective. But we got great coaches here that have been here 10, 15, 25, 30 years that are also a tremendous resource. But whatever I can do to help everybody move forward and get adjusted, because we don't really have a year to waste of building that relationship and rapport. We got to hit the ground running. So I know that we'll spend as much time as we need to, so that we can start building.
With that in mind, James, how much do you look forward to getting to know Sandy? You've only got to meet her a little bit as the days go forward. Obviously, kind of a full plate the next few days, but sitting down, maybe getting to know her, talk about her vision, your vision, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's very important, but no different than your industry or any other industry. This is a small world, and we either all know each other or we know people that know each other, and that's helpful. Obviously, I have people that have worked with her or have known her for a very long time. She knows people that have worked with me, so all those things are helpful. But yeah, it's going to be important that we sit down and talk through a wide range of topics. Most importantly, what's in Penn State's best interest moving forward. And for me, specifically, football and the university as a whole.
What's a day-to-day relationship like with an AD? How's that working relationship like? And what's most important to you as a football coach and an AD?
I think it all really depends on that athletic director's leadership style, what their background is. So I think all those things, it really depends. Some ADs, you might talk to them on a daily basis. You might talk to them, every single day. Some it may be weekly, some it may be monthly. It just depends on the structure that's put in place and what their leadership style really is. I'm comfortable with either. I've kind of been in multiple different settings like that. Some ADs that I talk to on a daily basis and some that I talk to weekly or monthly. So I'm comfortable with either one.
Based on past experiences, how long do you anticipate it to build a bond? That you've had a good, solid working relationship. I know you've talked about how important that has been in the past. How long does that take?
That's hard to say. I'm not the most patient person. you'd love for it to happen in the next week. That's not going to happen. It's going to happen naturally over time. But once again, I understand her background and where she's from. I know people that know her. She knows people that know me and my background as well. So I think there's already mutual respect there. And now we just got to continue to develop that relationship and that trust and that bond.
James, you said people that you guys kind of know, or commonalities, those kinds of things. Is that back from Maryland? Because she's from there, or where are those relationships coming from?
I wouldn't necessarily say any specific one, but I've worked at 9 different universities, and there tends to be crossover. I'm not sure how many that she's necessarily worked at, but it's just 6 degrees of separation. People. There's people you can call. There's people that are going to call you. There's people that she's probably already visited with. So I think all those things are helpful. And then just doing your own research as well. And I think all of us study the industry. So I studied what was going on at Cal during her time. She's probably studied some things that were going on with me. And those things are helpful. But again, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight.
Do you like to bounce things off the AD? Will you go to the AD with suggestions, or do you kind of wait for the AD to come to you, or is it a mix and match kind of deal?
No, I think it needs to be both ways. For me, the athletic director is a resource that I can go to. She's got tremendous experience. She's been doing this for over 30 years. So that's a tremendous resource for me to bounce things off of her. I want to become that type of resource for her as well when it comes to my expertise, which is running the football program. So I want it to go both ways, and I think in any healthy relationship, whether it's a friendship or whether it's more of a business relationship, it needs to be both ways.
Last question. How much does her background as a coach sort of help develop that relationship?
Yeah, I think it helps. I think it helps whenever you're in a leadership position that you've been in positions. Underneath that, and you've kind of seen it all and done it all. No different than any other industry. It's great if you get into a management or a CEO type position that you've done multiple roles building up to that, because that's going to help you relate to the people and the challenges with their jobs. So I don't think there's any doubt that that's helpful, that she sat in a coach's shoes before and now is an administrator.
Great, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Penn State alumni feel that, and Penn State athletic alumni feel that about their experience here, and I only intend to go.
Have a great day.
Absolutely.
See you guys.